Good morning, everybody, and we are live. Happy Thursday, rise and shine. Let's get this day going. Let's set it with some intention. You decide what's your day going to be like. All right. Okay, so we are going to continue with our self discovery series. This is day number 14. So we have one more day after today with the series, and then I'll have a blog posting, the same series, but in a blog post form that you'll be able to go back through if you'd like. Okay. All right, here we go. So today we're going to talk about what else you would like to do. So we have taken these previous 13 days and really dove into certain aspects of ourselves, right? Really taking a self-assessment of who we are, what our ethics are, what really makes us tick, what makes our heart sing, right? What brings us joy. And hopefully you're learning to be the observer of yourself. I think that is the key to everything you do from here forward. It's just so important. You need to be the observer of what you're going to do, right? And sometimes when we think there's something we want to do, if we don't take a look at actually being in that position of doing whatever that is, and then working through the mechanics of what that really looks like, what that really entails, because a nice idea about something and then putting it into practical practice are very different. And so being the observer of different circumstances you've been in, is as simple as how you reacted to somebody that wasn't exactly the way you would have liked to. Observe yourself. What did they say? What were you thinking? What was it really about? I guarantee you it wasn't about them. There was something that was within you, unless it's just somebody that is good at pushing your buttons, and if so, you need to get them out of your daily life. Love them and release them, like I say. Okay, we need to surround ourselves with supporters, encouragers, people who want to see us succeed, because the bottom line is this: we all succeed when we have a serving heart, we have love in our heart, and we just be our true, authentic self. Just that's it. Get quiet. Learn who you are. Learn again what makes your heart sing, what brings joy. Then do it, and do it often, and everything will fall into place. So today we're going to expound on that. We're just going to take a look at, so what else do you want to do? You've done all this searching of yourself. So are you stumped? Have you gotten to a point where you've done a ton of self-development, but you just don't know what you want to do? All right, so today we're going to look at 5 things that may help you get over that hurdle, so to speak. All right? Okay, so here we go. And let's just look for a minute, again, being the observer, as to maybe why you've hit a wall. Maybe you have professional goals that you've hit, and now you're stumped. You're like, okay, I hit my goals. Now I don't know what I want to do. Well, life and growing is just about constantly learning and growing, right? Constantly learning and growing. That's why I told you earlier in the series, I'm constantly watching webinars, listening to audiobooks, whatever, things that appeal to me, because I want to expound on those things that bring joy to me and learn new ways, new things, see things in a different perspective. Because if we do that, if we allow ourselves to see something in a different perspective, then it may spark something new from within us. Get it? It's not about being in a club of people that do this very same thing, because truth be told, any mastermind I've ever been in, we're all like-minded in that there is a commonality within that mastermind, but we are all different and unique and come at things totally different, and that's what makes it so cool. So somebody else shares how they do something. It doesn't mean we're going to go out and duplicate exactly what they're doing, right? That's not what it's about. It's about sparking a new interest within us that finds another way, another unique way, but it sparks that thinking. It just sparks new ideas within us. That's what it's all about. Continuing to learn, get educated, surrounding ourselves with people that are like-minded in the fact that they're doing similar things, or they're surrounded by similar things that bring you joy. Does that make sense? Okay. So that in and of itself will help, just being around those people. And guess what? Just be okay. This is number one. Just be at peace with where you are at right now. Okay? Be at peace where you're at. Because until you get quiet and until you, decipher all of this information, and it's ongoing, you're gonna continue to make plans and strategies. You're gonna hit all those awesome goals that you make, and you're going to continue to grow. And so whatever you're doing now will spark into something else. I was sharing with you yesterday how me and my involvement in Clifford's House, what I thought it was years ago and what it is going to be today and very soon, is so different. If you would have told me that I was going to be more involved in the day-to-day, I would not have believed you. It wasn't who I was. And it wasn't who I was then. Man, have things changed. But that's great, right? Because I'm tapping into that true joy, my joy, nobody else's joy but mine, right? And I'm feeding it. And that's what you need to do. Feed that joy. Feed it. It creates magical things, I promise you. Okay, and then step 2, well, we already talked about that. Declutter your mind. And when we declutter our mind and we get quiet, sometimes people often call this a brain dump, right? Um, Listen, I have to do this often. If you have too many things going on in your mind at the same time, you're not able to really know. Like, sometimes it stops you in your tracks. There's too much going on in your brain because you can't focus on one thing. I'm guilty of this. It's one of my weaknesses, okay, that I work on all the time. And that's fine. It's fine. You just work on it. That's all. Because there's a lot of great stuff in there. You just have to learn how to access it, okay? So if you do a brain dump, you just sit down. I mentioned this yesterday. Sit down with a journal, paper, whatever you want, and just start writing. And just anything that comes to mind, write it down. Write it down, write it down, write it down until nothing's coming to you anymore. And who knows how long that will take, depending on how much you got going on out there. You may be sitting there for a little while, and that's okay. Do it. Just get it all down on paper. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Get it down on paper. We don't want to forget this information. We just want to take it out of our mind of presence, right? Get it down on paper so that we can then be the observer of it all. See that observer word again? Take a look at all of this information and then start to dissect it from there. You're going to maybe put it in some categories. Let's see. And this is number 3. So maybe things that you're good at. Excuse me, this information that you write down. Things that you're good at, things that you enjoy. Okay, things that you enjoy. What things don't feel right, or maybe they're not working now. And then where are some needs that you feel you need to fulfill within all of this information that you've gotten this brain dump from. And you're going to take and analyze all this stuff and see where maybe some things intersect. And where the things intersect, those may be the things that you start with now. For me, I know my destiny is Clifford's House. I know that that's why I'm here. I know that there's been a ton of things that I've needed to learn on the way. Gardening's one of them. That's a big part of Clifford's House. We will be self-sustainable. We'll be growing all of our food. So yeah, I needed to learn that, but I didn't. I'm just fulfilling the joys of my heart. I didn't say I need to learn to garden so that it works for Clifford's House. Actually, it's the opposite. Absolutely everything I do, it either 1, brings me joy, or 2, can directly support Clifford's House in the future in some fashion. And if it doesn't, it's not that I won't ever do it. It's just now's not the time. I've got so much I need to do that I have to make sure that I'm doing the things that are going to get me to the end goal of Clifford's House. And so it makes it easy. I know what my end goal is in Clifford's House. Now, once we attain that, the visions will grow from there. But I have to tell you, it's quite a grand vision. So I'm not sure I will ever be quote unquote done with Clifford's House because there's a lot. You just cannot imagine this huge vision I have for Clifford's House and supporting these young adults with mental illnesses that just are just on a different level. I won't get started because I'm going to go off on a tangent. Okay, bring it back in, Priscilla. Okay, and then step number 4, you're just going to determine where you're going to start. And, that's what I was chatting about is, see where things intersect. Find out the things and put them in order of which one you want, you maybe want to do most. Which one checks all the boxes the most. Which ones get you to your end goal the most, if you know what that is, right? So you're going to categorize things, get them aligned, and then decide which ones you're going to tackle first. And you're just going to take one at a time. Right? And that's going to take us to step 5. You're going to take one at a time and you're going to do little baby steps, whatever that is, daily. Okay? Something daily you're going to do towards whatever that is that you want to focus on and you want to grow in and do and what have you. It sounds easy. I know that it's simple, but it's not easy. I know this, but it's so rewarding and it just motivates you to do more and more and more, and it feels so good. I want this for all of you. I can't tell you what it is, only you know what it is, and maybe you don't know right now. Keep at it. Just keep at it. Even if you have to do it brain dump several times or just get quiet and shut off all the noise and just read these notes that you have. Just keep doing that until you start to hear yourself or the divine, because there's such power in the silence. The divine is in the silence. And if you don't allow yourself to get quiet, which we have a noisy world with all the technology, all the notifications. Listen, I turn my notifications off. It can be a detriment sometimes, but I don't want anything getting in the way of what I'm supposed to be focusing on right now. So that's why I do it. I have a hard enough time focusing because I've just got so much I want to do. And, just go out there, guys, and do it. Even if it's one little thing, whatever gets you closer, just go do it. All right, that's what I got for you today. Now let's see what our calendar has for us, shall we? All right, Thursday, June 24th. Throughout life, the 2 most futile emotions are guilt for what has been done and worry about what might be done. Futile. Do not do it. Snapshot that today. All right. Hey, yesterday's gone. I know you all have heard this before, but it's so true. I want you to live in right this moment, today. Right this moment, whenever you're watching this, live in this moment right now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Right now. Okay? Peace. Love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. You hear Ritzy? Oh, I'm such a happy mom. She's doing so much better. All right. Have a great day.